Hey YouTube, welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. We're back with episode 4 of our educational mini-series, breaking down everything you need to know to infiltrate and survive more raids as a scav inside the Lighthouse road camp. If you're new to the series, I strongly recommend you go back and watch the first 3 episodes to bring you up to date, and especially episode 1 because of the map overviews we discussed, which are vital to understanding the camp and the rogue behaviours. As well as showing the final high tier loot spawns within building 3 and taking on some roof rogues, this episode also shows how to approach the dangers of player scavs. Before we jump into the main gameplay, I wanted to touch on the scav on scav hostility that many of you are talking about in the comments. Firstly, it is of course an issue in the game. The penalties do not discourage it enough, and because of the high stakes and high rewards of Lighthouse, you will find it to be more apparent. However, it's also part of the learning experience of the camp. You need to know what to expect, ways to help combat or avoid it, but at the very least, be prepared. Remember, this is Tarkov after all. I have a clip to show you in the background which highlights one of the big reasons this sort of thing happens. I was already on the roof and partially looted a rogue when I heard 2 lots of footsteps. I immediately voice lined a couple of times to let them know I was here and was a scav. I got voice lines back, and although one of them came over, I was ready to shoot if he ADS but tried to keep things friendly. He initially walked away, but then he started to come back with his friend, and then I heard a third. There was no reason for him to do that unless for the intentions of stealing the loot. At that point I reverted to a shoot on sight policy. I think the clip shows both how to try and keep things friendly, but still prepared. If those guys actually weren't looking to be hostile, then they need to understand how their actions will be taken. I feel a lot of the time, scav on scav hostility is because of poor communication and decisions. It's part of learning the camp etiquette and how others will react if they are protecting their loot. Of course sometimes you're just going to run into a dick, but I can't really help with that. Okay, let's jump into the raid. Okay, so we're spawning with 34 minutes to go and we're right by the new part of the village. It's actually a pretty dangerous place to spawn in. We're pretty close to the road camp, but we've got PMCs everywhere right now because of the spawning time. Let's just check our extract. So we've got industrial gates. We'll have to take this much slower. There's a PMC spawn here, one up in the hills there, plus 2 to our right. So whilst I don't normally hang around this area too long because there's not much loot here, there's a couple of nice houses. We will have to be really careful. For people coming straight down from the hills on our right, maybe to do a task. Okay, so the rogues are shooting at someone already. This scav was activated. It may have been by us, but may have been a PMC. But we have to expect there's at least some PMCs up on that rocks there. Definitely much more difficult to survive coming to the road camp at 30 plus minutes. A lot of rogues, a lot of PMCs will spawn up here and they'll actually come down this way to take on the rogues as well, so have to be mindful of that. What we're really listening for is any movement up on the right as usual. Any gunfire, sniping. Basically any indication that we might have people up there, PMCs up there. If they are up in the rocks, they often play quite slow because they're just looking for, obviously for sniping angles and things, try not to get beamed. And with the rogues in the middle gone, so they're no longer there. In the latest patch, it's actually easier for people to sit up there and snipe now. You definitely used to get beamed by the 3, and there used to be an extra one on this this building as well. So it used to be quite hard to sit up in these rocks, and now it's not. So people stay up there a lot longer than they used to. Obviously, other strats for the PMCs, they'll come straight in here and loot this good room. So we're hoping to get here and have a PMC that didn't know about it or just had something else to do. So as usual, we're mindful of rogues here, but also that there might be a PMC already in here. If rogues see us here, they generally run straight in, like right straight at you. And it's kind of a good sign that that door's like shut, but okay. Alright, so we actually got here first. So this was the good room I was talking about. Multiple spawns on all of these. Obviously we picked up a couple of bits there. But we're going to check the high value spawns and move on. One in here. One in this box here. And one in this one here. We also want to check this walkway. Tetris, graphics cards. I'm not running here just because there could be PMCs close. And we're going to have enough trouble with this weapon in terms of fighting PMCs. We got anything? I mean, not really. We can stop a heavy bleed, that's it. So obviously that's really good loot for one room, but we haven't really got enough to make it worthy of getting out, even though the extract is just there. So I think we're going to take the shot on the rogue. There's actually two right there. So they've been disturbed already because one's moved off his turret and gone to that. That means we can't loot this roof, although we've not heard the rogue on here. So there is obviously, I'll be looting 3, but I think we're going to take on rogues. I know it's a couple of 100k probably, but that really isn't enough. The danger here is the guy who's actually not on the turret. You can see his head there. It's possible that because he's been engaged on the other turret, I guess, and he's run over, that he could just start shooting at us straight away. And they can shoot down, whereas the guy on the turret will find it very difficult to get the angle once we get away from this door, you know, maybe into the cover there. The guy on the turret will find it difficult to get us. So I'm kind of hoping this other one will just go back. I feel like somebody's shooting them. The guy on the turret stayed there, but somebody's shooting. We're trying to have a little peek through this. They can shoot from here. They're obviously not engaged in us. We haven't really, although we're in the rogue camp, we haven't gone near any rogues as such, which suggests there isn't one on the roof. But that didn't sound like a rogue gun. You can see he's still there behind that. I mean, the thing we could do here, if I can get a clean shot on that guy, if he just stays still a second, then the guy on the turret may not move. And if he does move, we've at least got, there we go. The guy walking around needs to get back on his turret. I mean, because he walked away there, we could take the shot here. He's so close though, he could just come and beam us. Okay, so we took the shot, and now we need to be careful of the other road coming across. We obviously did have a shooting over here, so need to be mindful of that as well. Maybe someone's taking pot shots from over in train. Again, we're checking for high value spawns here. There can be some decent attachments on here as well, worth checking. Obviously, I haven't got a lot of space for stuff. The reason that I always just hit the high value spawns is because we can get enough with that to decide if we want to get out. Our extract is right here. So looting is always the first thing we're thinking about. Rogues is the second thing. If we don't get enough loot, then we want to be taking on the rogues and try and get our loot that way. Because we shot one and the other guy's off the turret, although he may go back on by now. I don't like that there was other shooting. I mean, maybe that he's got a like an SR-25 or something like that, and he was just shooting down at people. That is definitely possible as well. I'm not super familiar with the gun sounds, so do not quote me. There's another spawn here. That's good, so that's going to distract them a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly try and loot this. Because we're here so early anyway, you can get better spawns in now. Because we're here so early anyway, I don't want to hang around and have other people sort of catch up on us, you know. Player scavs are going to be coming in, they're going to start populating the place. PMCs don't seem to have obviously taken out the rogues, so they've either been killed. We did hear some noise early on, so they may have been killed. We're just seeing how much we can get from the loose loot here before we decide to go up. And, you know, if we get enough, maybe we don't go up. That's for you to decide. We don't really have any more bag space. So we do have a choice to make here. Obviously there's some nice bits and bobs there. Those will go for a bit. So that's a decent haul, right? You could just get out, go through this door, up there, and you're out. We have shot a rogue, so we are definitely marked. So we're just having a little peek, player scavs or rogues, and then we have to check this guy. So there's no guy on there, which is good. So he may have just moved, but he may be dead. This is...
Это что за хрень?
That was weird to get a Twitch alert when I'm not even online. I guess that's the thing. So what I was going to say was, it's probably, you could go to building 1 now and try that, but you're pushing into other people. So you do run the risk of, obviously, running into player scavs or players. I don't like that noise, but it could have been above. That's actually a good sign. He's getting shot from somewhere. But I think what we're going to do here... He's obviously getting shot from the player scav. This is taking forever. I think what we're going to do here, so we're just going to drop this here for now. We're actually going to go up. I wouldn't always do this, especially as that guy's been shot by a player scav. He won't be far away, right? But he's not there. They've obviously locked onto us again. It's just such a bad gun to be doing this with, to be honest. So... But I'm being greedy. Obviously, knowing the camp quite well helps me be greedy, but, you know, if you're new to it, you take small wins like that for sure. The thing we have here is if he's disturbed, what I like to do is I'll get on the ground straight away.
I see a bandit.
Okay, now we know where he is. If he pushes us, we're in big trouble. But they often don't. They'll run around you. Okay, there he is. We see him there. So, if we can be quick. We're going to try and get the right hand peak on him here. And we shot another one, so that means there could be one more. There's nobody on that turret. He could just be sitting here. What I want to do here is I want to get this guy's loot. But bear in mind, we know... Damn, somebody got up here already. I guess that's the noise we heard. He'll probably be dead somewhere though, because obviously that rogue was still up. That's a little bit unfortunate. Goddamn player scavs. So we're now going to try and get this rogue's loot. We were conscious that there was a player up here, or a player scav. Okay. Obviously there's another high value spawn here. We're just going to do this first. Not the best, although the armor is. Brilliant, so we'll do that. I know I get told off for not min-maxing, so we'll try. I'm kind of focused on the commentary, but you know. Honestly, a stock, pretty much stock M4 is not the best. Right, so we know there's 2 down. So the other one normally sits here, but there was one getting shot as well. So that may have been the guy that moved. But we have to be careful. There could be someone over there. We've got no sort of range with our scope. So whatever we do here, we have to do reasonably quickly. He may still be on there. I don't really want to hang about. I just want to check. He's gone as well. Okay, so there's the other one shot. He must have been on there. So this was that one that we shot just a minute ago in the middle. We have to assume we're getting heavy again. You have to be quick here. People will come. Obviously, we've got a decent haul here. Do need to get some of this ammo away. Just in case we get pushed. At the moment, it feels like it's probably player scavs. Why did that not go? It feels like it was probably player scavs that are shooting around here, but the PMCs are doing something else, so that's great. But we can't be sure, so it is definitely time to get out. We're going to be heavy as well. There is no reason to hang around here any longer. We will take what we can now, because we are going to get out. Obviously we've got the loot downstairs as well. The longer we're here, again, we've got no... Using voice lines really early here. Trying to keep this friendly. So he knows I've been up here, so he knows I've looted, so it's on him to back away. There you go. So a bit of voice line really helps in this sort of situation. You know, I even be prepared to share the loot in that situation. But, you know, he's going to go off now and he's going to loot his own thing. We're not going to get much more loot here, so... but the thing we learned on the other one, this was actually the same roof that we came down. So a couple of things you can do. Let's say we think that he's going to just be waiting down there, or you know someone's waiting down there. A couple of things you can do here. We're really heavy again, so we can drop our bag. I didn't do that last time, and now I can move. So that very first episode where I died, I didn't need to die. And the other thing we can do, if we think the stairs are going to be watched, and this comes from learning the map, is you can drop down on this. Which is also very useful. Now I don't know where he went, whether he went straight over or in this building, so I'm going to use voice lines here. I want him to know that we're here. And then we're going to try and get the most loot out of this and get out. Obviously you can kind of hear how much heavier we are with this one. Let's see what we can do. That'll definitely go in. We'll take that. That can come. We'll have to. I'm not going to sit here with unpacking those because they're not worth. I think that's enough to get out. We obviously got really good armor. We did not get the best guns at all. No attachments on. Pretty poor actually. But we learned something from that first raid. We are obviously heavy as hell here. But we learned something from that first raid that we've applied here. So hopefully that's helped you guys as well to try and avoid that unfortunate situation. And you know, it was good fun as well. Good fun as well. And we avoided the player scav. You know, he did the right thing. He pulled away. He left us. He knew that we was there first. it's better for him to go on and try and get loot elsewhere than try and fight us there. You know, we've potentially got armor and good guns at that point, so why would he try and kill us, right? Maybe to get it, but also he's got a good chance of dying. So yeah. I hope this episode shows how the importance of continually learning and improving your knowledge will help you survive more in the future. I see a lot of comments about how someone tried it a couple of times and it didn't go well, so maybe they even give up. Like with any of the high tier loot areas in the game, they also bring the most danger. Knowledge is power here, and if you push through the early knocks and really learn the camp, you'll become as addicted as me. Thanks as always, and take care.